turn that off first. Bear, stop licking. Right, hiya. First, gonna say this isn't supposed to be a whiny video. It's a bit more of a reflective video. The reason it came about is I was talking to a woman that I work with, Sandra, about how some people handle stress. Everybody handles it differently. This is I'm going to explain my way of handling it, especially in the past. But Sandra, talking to her today, was asking her how does she, I actually don't think I asked her, I think it just sort of came about, and she just handles it. So she said she just handles it. She just gets so many balls up in the air, but because she knows where everything is, how everything's supposed to be, she deals with her stress. And that's actually quite a good way to be. You know, you spend time with this woman, you think she is one of the most calm, and so I just got a text message there. Hi Sharon, not going to see this, but hi Sharon. She is one of the most together women that I know. She's just so, she gives off this feeling of calmness, and it's do you know what, I think we're lucky to have her in the office just for that one simple fact of the fact that she does, just when I'm feeling like and I could hit somebody or something, I'll go and spend a couple of minutes with her and she calms me down. Sorry, Bear's tired, he's yawning at me. It does, it calms me down, just go and sit beside her for a few minutes, and I'm okay, I can go back to what the hell was annoying me before. But anyway, after speaking to Sandra today, it got me thinking about how I've dealt with things in the past, with stresses in the past, and how, if I give in, I would still deal with them now. My coping mechanism was self-harming. It's still something it's there. It's never going to leave me, it's just how I deal with it. It started for me when I was really young. It was before my parents actually split up, but just after I'd found out Billy, who is the second contributor to my genetics, basically, sperm bank we called him. My brother calls him a few other choice words. But that's a different video. I found out that he was having an affair with a lodger. I walked in on them at it. I was about 6 years old, and because of him, I was very, very confused and very angry and just full of hatred. What sparked it off was, like I said, I walked in on him having an affair with a lodger. He told me that if I told anyone, I wouldn't be believed, that my gran, my mum, my papa would all hate me and they would send me away because they didn't like liars. I wouldn't be allowed to see the new baby, which is my little brother. I was desperate to see him. I would be sent to a home where bad kids go and where bad men worked. Basically, he fucked with my head. It really did. It was about then that I started to self-harm. I was full of all these negative emotions and thoughts, and I couldn't speak to my mum about them because why is your dad going to lie to you? You know, I was scared. I was 6 years old, I was scared. My mum was pregnant. I found out that he was doing this thing, and it tore me up inside. It was the first secret that I ever had from my mum, and it ate away at me every single day, a little bit every day. And I can still remember the first day that it wasn't self-harming that first time. That first time wasn't self-harming, it was an accident. I got a paper cut from a colouring book. Just this tiny little cut on my hand. It didn't bleed or anything, it was just this wee sting. And it felt, do you know, I felt better because, do you know, I had that wee stingy cut and I felt better inside. So that was the first time that I realised that outside pain can make inside pain better, or at least to me. After I realised that, 6 years old and I'm realising something like that, I would do things like pinch and twist my skin. I'd end up with bruises. I would deliberately start fights with people. At the time where we stayed, we had 2 little boys that lived next door who loved to beat 7 shades of shit out of me. So I'm just moving my... Try and keep this still. There we go. Yeah, these 2 boys loved to just beat the crap out of me. As I got older, the things that I did to myself got worse. I used to burn myself with cigarettes that I stole. I laughingly tell people I started smoking at 7 years old. I did, but it was really only for the cigarettes, so I could put them out on my skin. I would regularly do the 99 challenge. I don't know if that's still a thing, if kids still do that. You rub the back of your hand 99 times, you just basically take off the skin on the back of your hand. I would do that regularly. I'm actually surprised I haven't left scars. I progressed quite quickly to actually cutting. I would cut myself with knives. So my arms, my thighs, my stomach, I've all got scars from the past years where I've cut myself. I always thought I was smart because I went for quantity over quality. I had a pattern that I would work to. My cuts were shallow. They were kind of like shallow cat cuts. When we had a cat, it was great. I could blame the poor cat. There was a pattern, like I said, that I would do. In a pattern, I'd have a certain number that I would cut, and that would be it. Clean it, bandage it, walk away. I'm using the past tense, but it is still a very present thing. Even though it's been nearly a year since I last cut, I still get the urge every day. Well, I say every day, but when I have a bad day, it's still there. My first instinct, my first urge is to get the razor and cut, but I try not to. I try not to because it's not a healthy way to cope with things. It was one of the worst. It was one of the things that my mum really hated. It was a sort of taboo subject between the 2 of us. The first time that I opened up to her about why I did it, I couldn't even tell her why. I can't fully explain why. It's just things get really tight and tense up here and in here that I need that release. I need that bit of blood coming out. But we had one proper conversation about it, and after that I avoided it like the plague. I threw temper tantrums that 2-year-olds would be pleased with. I just hated seeing the look in her eye of the pain and the confusion that she'd feel with the fact that our baby's doing this to herself. I can understand her point of view. I mean, I could speak to my mum about anything, and I pretty much did. But speaking to her about how stressed I was, it never made it any better, because I just felt bad that the fact that I was putting on to her. So my way of coping was to go and cut myself. It actually got to the point between us where I wouldn't speak to her at all. I wouldn't let her see how bad things were. When my exams came around, I wouldn't tell her the extreme of how stressed I was. I would say, yeah, it's pretty bad, I'm worried, I'm going to fail this, but it's fine, I'll figure something else out. Whereas inside, I was my insides were constantly churning, and I was just, even now just thinking about it, I feel quite sick. Do you know, when my papa died, I didn't tell her how sad and devastated I was. I could see how bad it was for her. When my gran was diagnosed with cancer and she died, strong front again. I didn't show. I tried not to show how bad it was affecting me. I just cut myself. You know, it was always in the past. Do that for a week, 2 weeks, different places on my body, I'd feel better. Even just the slightest bit. There was times when everything was going fine, mum was fine, school was fine, work was fine, whatever point in my life I was, but I'd still have that urge, I'd still have that need to cut. It's a horrible feeling, and trying to explain it to people is hard. So this video might be a little bit confusing. I've got a thing written down here, so I've got points and things like that, but I've kind of lost my way. Again, I really shouldn't have a script, I'm shocking at it. But yeah, right here, found my way, found where I am. As I said, it's not something that I left behind in my teenage years. A surprising number of adults. I don't have the stats, I don't have the figures, I don't have all of that, because I don't think those things are a true reflection. They're the stats and the figures and everything are what people know, but there's countless others. There's hundreds and thousands of people out there who are, I'll say, suffering in silence, who don't have therapists, who don't have people that they can talk to, they don't have professionals that they can go to, you know, say these things. Bear, leave that alone. Poor dog's suffering, he's itchy. Come here and I'll scratch you. No. Come here. No. But yeah, I'm lucky enough. I've went to my doctor a few months ago and said to her, look, I'm having a really tough time. I think I need a little something to get me over this. And I broke down and I told her I have a history of self-harm, and the urge to cut just now is extremely high. This was just after my mum had passed away, and I was dealing with getting all the bills and everything changed over to my name. I had her funeral. You know, it was a really tough time. But see, even now, when I go to my GP for checkups, one of the first questions she asks is, how have you self-harmed? Have you had any of the urges? And I keep telling her all the time, I've got my lily here. I can't quite show you, but it's a really nice wee lily that Matt at Titan Tattoo done. And then I've got my Skullman, again, can't really quite show you, over here, that young Lauren at Titan Tattoo done for me. And that's my way of staying away from arms. I'm not going to cut my arms because I've got these two beautiful bits of work on my arms, and I don't want to destroy them. Because that was my go-to place. That was the first place I would always go to, is my arms. Do you know, when my mum was in hospital, she would regularly check my arms and asked if I'd cut. You know, if I was just being a sneaky wee fucking hiding it. Her words. Pardon me. But there were a few times. Oh. Sorry, weird sirens. Sounds like the thing in the fucking in the Gremlins movie when Stripe's jumping into the water. But anyway, yeah, my mum, she would ask if I'd cut, and I would have to say yeah, because honesty, that's how our relationship was. We were honest with each other. And I hated seeing that look in her eye, especially when she was in hospital, especially when her health was ill, because she would feel like it was her fault, and it wasn't. It was just my way of coping. But she would never scold me. She wouldn't tell me to stop. She'd only say that she wished that I didn't do it, and she would ask me to be careful. Smart wee shite that I am. I get a good map in my body, and I know where all the big veins are, the big arteries are, and I do tend to stay away from them. But I've mentioned a few things that are triggers, like stress, exam stress, people dying, people that I love dying. They were quite big stresses for me, but I don't have any one trigger. There is nothing to say that there's very few days that go past where I don't feel like actually that's a lie. Since I've been on the pills, there's been more days that I've got by and I've not felt, I said the pills, I'm on antidepressants, can't even pronounce them. But yeah, since I've been on them, and as long as I take them, I'm actually, usually, if things are going along in a linear way, I'm good, nothing. And I was just about able to get through Mum dying, sorting out her funeral, and actually dealing with adult life, not having that backup anymore. At 32 years of age, I really shouldn't have had that backup. I should have been standing on my own 2 feet. But I've only just got through it. I've been good, is how I term it. And I hate the negative connotations that go with self-harming, because it makes me feel better. It stops me obsessing about the shit that's going on in my life that's making me feel bad. It gives me something else to focus on. The only negative thing from my point of view, that I could see from self-harming, and I still can a little bit, it's like I say, it's something that's there all the time, but it's the hiding and lying to people. I'm always having to make sure I'm covered up. I always had to make sure that I was covered up and that nobody could see the cuts. In the early years, nobody could see the scars. Thankfully, they've all sort of diminished a wee bit, and the ones that were really bad on this arm missed their pleasant heights. But like I said, I don't have any one trigger. I managed to get through all that stuff with my mum, and everything that went through it. I had a few days here and there, but I've got to admit, the last few weeks, especially this last week, have been a proper struggle. There's been nothing specific that I can see. It's just the coming home, and I'm tense and I'm uptight and not able to relax as much as what I'd like to, and the urge is always that it's an urge. It is. It's this thing. It's. I can't describe it. It's just this urge is always there. I mean, I've got rid of most of my stuff. I had a cut and pack. Would have like micropore tape, bandages, wee squares, bandage things, cleaning stuff. I always kept really good care of the equipment that I'd use, like the blades that I would use, the cleaning utensils. Everything was kept sterilised and well maintained. Constantly updated. It cost me a fortune. It cost me an absolute fortune on the stuff. But yeah, it is a struggle. Like I said, this past week has, been coming home. I've been basically keeping myself busy. The other day I woke up back at 4, and I was sat at the edge of my bed and I was looking where I keep my stuff, and all I was thinking was, all I have to do is open up that drawer. I've got 2 thighs, my stomach's there, got nothing on them to stop me, but I didn't, and I think I've sort of turned a corner with it. It's, yes, I've got the urge still there to do it, but I'm not doing it, and I'm getting by on it, and it's it amazes me how many people, I mean, there was somebody that I used to work with that I'm slightly obsessed with scars. Somebody's got a scar and I'm like, oh, how did you do that? And basically that's what I'd done to this girl. I saw this scar on her wrist and I asked her, I was like, how'd you do that? Where did that one come from? And she actually looked at me and went, that was me being stupid. And I couldn't say anything to her. I can go, oh my god, I can't believe you've been doing that, because I knew where she was coming from. I know how she feels and how sometimes things are just that bad that the only way you're going to be able to feel any level of peace is to cut. And I said to her what my mum says to me, or what my mum said to me, just be careful. And I didn't tell her not to do it, didn't ask her not to do it, it's not my place to. Just told her, please be careful, you're more important than you realise. And it's so hypocritical me saying that, but it doesn't matter. When you're feeling that bad, when you're feeling you don't want to die, but you do feel like everything's in here and it's all tight and it's all, you're about to explode, and instead of going off and hitting someone or screaming at the people that you love or ignoring them, making the people that you love feel like shite, instead of doing that, you just take this wee razor and cut yourself, you hurt yourself, because that's a better way to cope than hurting somebody else. It's a sort of selfless way, I suppose. Selfless and selfish. But yeah, it's yeah. This video has not went the way I was hoping it would go. It's supposed to be a reflective piece, something to help, just to make you think, you know. I mean, I like I said, that's maybe subconsciously this is my way of not cutting tonight. Could be potentially that. It could just be my way of not hurting myself tonight. I'm getting it out. I have had a couple of bad weeks and a really shitty week, and the temptation's been there, and it's progressed this week. It's got worse this week. So that could be a subconscious thing where I've wanted to do this video and hopefully not give in, because sorry, hang on, I'm going to pause this. Right, hopefully that's me got my shit together. Yeah, I don't want to give in, I don't want to she's not here anymore, but I still want to make my mum proud. And by not giving in and not cutting, that's one way I can do that. Yeah, so I'm going to go and jump on the dog now, try and cheer myself up. this wasn't the way the video was supposed to go. It was supposed to be just a case of try and have an understanding of how other people cope. That it's not all stomping about making other people feel like shit. Some people actually make themselves feel like shit and do bad stuff to themselves so other people don't feel like crap. But yeah, I'm gonna go and jump on the dog. I've eaten enough fucking crackers and seeds and berries and nuts tonight that I'm giving squirrels a run for their money. Because this no dairy crap is annoying me. It's only day one. So I've got to get my giggles elsewhere. Oh, and Gogglebox is on, so yeah, I'm going to go and watch that. That looks interesting. Anyway, sorry for being a pussy. You guys have a nice weekend, year, day. If you're just making it through each day, then you're not alone. Good on you. Bye.